I was scrolling through Reddit and I found this post on the poker investing subreddit. And this person said, I just bought the English Gold Charizard for $1,300. This is Mega Evolution's Phantasmal Flames, number 130 of 94. It's Mega Hyper Rare Charizard. So, is this the right or wrong decision? Let's read on first for some context. Kept going back and forth on if I should pay 2K for a case of 6 boxes. 2K for a case of 6 boxes. That's over 300 per box. $300 per box. I don't know why this person didn't just pre-order, because if you pre-order you would have gotten it at 160. I know right now products are scarce, but if you had pre-ordered you probably at least get 1 box. Okay, anyways, or just buy the Charizard outright from someone who already has it. Managed to snag a box of Mega Evolution today from GameStop, and my pulls were the worst. When you said box, it's probably the pre-release building battle box. So I went ahead and figured to secure my chase for Phantasmal Flames instead of risking being disappointed. I know the other Charizard is supposedly more wanted and valuable, but this one is harder to pull and still amazing. I imagine the price will turn favors soon enough between them. Overall, not sure if I made the right decision, but happy with my purchase. I think low. Before someone yells at me for supporting people who got it early and decided to sell it, I only decided to get it now because I thought the price was worth it. I see this card going up after release, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter because it's for my personal collection anyways. So I'm just going to answer this from two perspectives, from an investing perspective and from a collections perspective. From the investment perspective, there will probably be some considerations of opportunity cost also to it. So if he didn't buy this card, what could he have done with $1,300? So this is obviously not financial advice, and this is just a random common person like myself. Not financial advice, expressing my own views. So from an investment perspective, the answer is really it depends. Even overall, it depends, like whether he's investing or whether he's collecting. And even when you filter it down to investing, there's also different factors you have to consider. From an investment perspective, it really depends. If you're looking at this card from a long-term or short-term perspective. Your time horizon basically. So from a short-term perspective, I think he overpaid $1,300. So there's a rule or rule of thumb that you don't buy cards by singles at pre-release, because 95% of the times the card will drop drastically. I wouldn't even be surprised if it drops below 650, so half of what he paid in the short term, and even lower than that. And we'll go through a few numbers. So short term, I think 1,300 is really overpaying. And secondly, on the long term, so medium to long term, obviously medium to long term is asking after the print run. So after the print run, so 2 years to 3 years after today, would this card be above $1,300? And my view to that is it's a question mark. It's difficult to say because right now we're in 2 to 3 years time, we're probably going to be past the 30th anniversary, and that's when I expect Pokemon to slow down a bit and singles will be hit. So definitely 3 years, 2 to 3 years out the gate, we probably would be in a period where we would be experiencing some Pokemon slowdown or crash, if you want to call it. So long term, at least in the beginning, not so well. So maybe we should call it medium term, if it's like 2 to 3 years. Long term, 5 years plus, perhaps this card would be above 1,300 one day. Why? Let's go through a few benchmarks. Okay. So yes, I know it's Charizard, it's everyone's favorite, but let's be real over here. Firstly, first benchmark is Mega Charizard X EX from Inferno X. Now we know this is the Japanese counterpart, and generally English cards have a bit of a premium above Mega Charizard EX XEX. So if it's $844.95 for a Japanese Inferno X card, there's generally going to be a premium for the English counterpart. Okay, so we could say that it's going to be higher than 844.95 cents, but it's not going to be $1,300. Okay, so second factor that we also have to consider is this Inferno X and Mega Charizard EX. Yes, they've been released for some time, but you have to understand every single day there are more and more Mega Charizard EX being pulled on a daily basis, and we don't know. It's a very high likely chance that Japan would print this Inferno X card again and again, just like Terrestrial Festival and the other sets. So this 844, I don't see it holding for a long time. It will drop a lot as time goes by. Similarly with this gold card. Again, already you're overpaying this $800, 844. Now let's take a look at the most expensive card of Scarlet and Violet era, which is the Umbreon EX from Prismatic Evolutions. 1,211, and we still not past the print run. This is a very successful set with 32 SIRs and extremely difficult pull rates, and yet the most expensive card is still 1,211. So you're also overpaying the most expensive card in Scarlet and Violet era. Even though Mega Evolution is a set on its own, I think paying $1,300 for a new card is overpaying. Compared to its close counterpart, which is Mega Evolution. The Mega Evolution, Mega Lucario, MHR, and the Mega God of War MHR, which are going for 542 and 523, and they've been released for some time, so the price is a bit more credible, and it's probably going to be more stable. Yes, it will still drop as time goes by because more and more singles are being opened on a regular basis. $500, and yet you're paying $1,300 just because it's Charizard. I don't think that's wise. Well, not a good decision from an investment perspective. I think it's probably gonna be slightly higher, but slightly higher is a question mark. Why? Because I'll just give you the reason just now. Okay, it might be slightly higher or even lower. So why do I say it's lower or slightly higher? Because of the pull rates. Mega Evolution has way more SIRs and has 2 MHRs compared to Phantasmal Flames. Phantasmal Flames only has 1 MHR, which is this Gold Charizard. It only has 5 special illustration rares, whereas Mega Evolution has double that. Okay. 5 special illustration rares, and Mega Evolution has double that. So pull rate wise, it's going to be much easier to pull this Gold Charizard. It's going to be easier to pull this Gold Charizard or this SIR Charizard, Mega Charizard, compared to Mega Evolutions. So I don't see the price being more than double this 500. It will likely settle to 500 because of the Charizard aura, the Charizard power, or even be lower because it's so much easier to pull the Gold Charizard compared to these two gold cards. The only reason it could stay around $500 is because it's got Charizard. Okay, and from past experience, Charizard carrying a set doesn't really bode well over time. We can look at Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, and the most recent Brilliant Stars. The Charizard power is definitely not as strong as Evolution's power. And that's so ensured, right? Now, even looking at Obsidian Flames, Charizard alone cannot carry a set. And it will not be the most expensive card in the era. Okay. It's tough, but it's just based on past history. Could this Charizard be different? Yes, there's that possibility. But for its counterparts to be hovering around $500 at the moment, uh, for this card to be bought at 1,300, I think that's way over. I see this card around 500, couple of weeks after official release on the 14th of November. So look, in December, this card will probably be $500, and in January it might even be lower because of how many of these cards are being pulled on a daily basis. On the flip side, the argument of whether the normal SRR will be more expensive than the gold card, that's a very interesting debate. I'll create another video because that will take a long time. But let me not digress. So let's go through a few key points over here. Paying 2K for a case of 6 boxes. So again, yeah, I know it's tough to get products, but really you should aim for MSRP wherever you can. So here's the question. I only decided to get it now. Overall, not sure if I made the right decision, but happy with my purchase. So that's really up to you, and it depends on what you want to do with this card, right? So from an investment perspective, I think from a short term, I don't think it was a good decision. From a long term perspective, a medium term, I think once the reprint is done, we're going to be in a slow Pokemon market. So also not looking good. I don't think it's going to cross the $1,300 mark for a raw card. For long term, 5 years, yeah, if you're okay with waiting that long, maybe 5 years time, it might become a $1,300 card. So argument is you could grade it. Maybe if it comes to PSA 10, then it's going to worth a lot more, because the PSA 10 card of Umbreon EX is $4,000. But if we just look at this card that it bought, maybe this is not the best angle, but already centering, you can see that it's left heavy and bottom heavy. So this card is most likely not going to get a 10. At best, it might get a 9. And we know that the value of a 9 is almost the same as the raw card, if not lower. Unfortunately, that's the market. So the chances of it getting a PSA 10 is very small, let alone a black label. Now, if today he bought a card that is a black label worthy card, and he paid 1,300, and it comes back a black label, you know what? Then hindsight, it's an extremely good purchase. He's the first person who managed to secure a black label. But this card is nowhere close to a PSA 10, let alone a black label. So yeah, just from an investment perspective, it's not good. And before someone else had me supporting people who got it early and decided to sell it, I've only decided now because the price was worth it. Okay, so that's really up to you, and choosing to go for the gold card as opposed to getting booster boxes. That's also up to you, because yes, there's that logic. So now we're going to go on to the second perspective, which is from a collection perspective. Now, from a collection perspective, that is where things get a bit more interesting. And my response to that is also, it depends. It depends, because if you are a collector who likes the opening experience, so you like to open your chase cards, so you would go out and buy out a lot of booster boxes, tons of products, just so you can open your chase card and enjoy that experience, then yes, from that perspective, it may make sense for that, and you generally think you have bad luck, then it may make sense for you to go and spend what you were going to spend initially on sealed products So just buy out your chase card. That makes sense. Okay. But if you, from another perspective, if you're a collector who wants to minimize your budget, or you want to minimize your spending to get your chase card, then from a collection perspective, I would still not agree with this, because you know for sure that this card is going to drop 95% certainty that this card is not going to be valued at 1,300. That upon release, 14th of November, and just a month or two afterwards, you know this card is going to be half of 1,300. So from that perspective, you know you could have picked this card up at a much cheaper price, knowing the pull rates and etc. So there's only like one a very small situation where, yeah, it might be worthwhile to pick this up at 1,300 from a collection perspective. But at the end of the day, you know what? It is your money. As long as you're happy with it, it's really, you don't really have to care what other people say. It's really your money, 1,300. Maybe for you, it's not really it's a small portion of your disposable income. Then, yeah, as long as it makes you happy, genuinely happy with collecting, there's nothing wrong with it. And even these days, not many people can make optimal decisions, like buying the cards at the extreme low point or selling cards at the extreme high point. So yeah, that's just really my rant on this card. What's my take? What would I do? I would pass on this card. I would probably just go to my pre-release events if I had the time, just to open the 4 packs and then 3 packs additional if you play the game. I'll just open my 7 packs. If I get the gold card, great. If I open the SR, awesome. And if I don't get it, yeah, I'll move on. And then I'll rather spend this $1,300 on sealed products, because history has showed us that the price of a booster box, especially after reprints, can cover the price of a raw chase card. And I'm patient. I think that the price of a Mega Evolution booster box will eventually be above a Mega Charizard EX raw card. You saying I'm crazy? Okay. Look back at the most expensive card of Sword and Shield era. What's that? Yes, you've guessed it. Umbreon VMAX. 2,240. Check the booster box. 2,579. So just holding on the booster box gives you the leverage to buy out the top chase card in the future after reprints. And by then, I could either choose to hold on to my booster box or just change it for, the chase card. That's just what history has shown us. Okay, that's all for now. Catch you next one.